All right, everybody, we got the second one. We're here with the diplomacy. So this is the hidden mechanic that we're teasing in the Discord for so long, and we're all kind of correct that it is diplomacy. That was pretty much the number one guess, I think, for a lot of people, was some form of diplomacy after we saw the handshake emoji added underneath of it. Obviously, the actual icon looks like a handshake, which the devs didn't even really acknowledge until later on. We had to got in a Discord call with them, and they were like, and I was like, I was asked basically, what do you think the new mechanic is? And I was like, I don't know. And then so eventually, I think they ended up showing me it in a different color, and I went, I have no idea. I'm like, the handshake one, and is, I don't know what the handshake thing is. Just a handshake something. And they're like, what do you mean handshake? I mean, it looks like a handshake. And well, it's hence why it has now been adopted as the handshake, as Mr. I don't know if you guys will be able to hear. I have to have it like way turned down, as there's like 4 copyrighted songs in this one video because they kept the music on, unfortunately. So yeah, let's just say that they may be quiet. If we can't really hear them, I will just inform you of what they are saying, because yeah, we're avoiding the copyright.
And right now we are just going to be showing off the much teased handshake mechanic from mod previews. Probably proper.
Yeah, we're gonna skip this part until we actually get to the mechanic.
Campaign.
So I don't know if you guys will be able to hear it, because like I said, they have copyrighted music. So I will do my best to explain what we're actually looking at. But basically, long story short, this is a super amazing mechanic that they've got here, which is going to do some really cool features, and I cannot wait for them to backport this to AOTR, because it's even more insane things over there too, especially as the Black Sun. I have some cool ideas what to do with the series on that one. But yeah, right now in this video, we got Koryak and Mr. President joining us, so yeah, we're maybe gonna hear from them. I'm not sure how the audio is going to be, like I said, because of the copyright. But yeah, Koryak is the one who actually made this. Obviously, Mr. President helped, and I'm sure a few of the other devs did some stuff with it. But yeah, I think Koryak was the one who did most of this.
We see we have Padme Amidala here at the top, and she's at Trandosha. And you can already see the handshake symbol at Trandosha, but you can't see it at Alasia. This is for a very specific reason. We don't want the player to be overwhelmed, so we only allowed this diplomacy feature to be usable on planets that are connected to the player. Now, if Padme Amidala is on a planet that's available for diplomacy.
Oh, muted my mic. Okay, so I believe what I just heard was they have made the mechanic. So in order to not overwhelm small-minded individuals, we are only going to be able to use the mechanic on an adjacent world to our own, such as Trandosha in this case, which is why Ulysses, despite being like CIS aligned, is not negotiable. Like, we can't go negotiate with them. We are not connected to them. We have no way to negotiate with them. There's no point of sending an ambassador to enemy lines, like, well, behind enemy lines. So we're not going to be able to negotiate with them until that is the frontline world. Would be interesting, because negotiations do take quite a while, meaning you will not be able to really bother attacking that planet while they're ongoing, or it would be kind of a waste of time.
You can use her to negotiate with the planet. If you do that, you can see several different options, like here, financial support, fleet support, army support.
Okay, I don't know if they can fix this. I don't know if they, like, I don't think it is an option. I know that the Black Sun one has the same issue. I really wish, when you're on this menu, the game would pause. I'm not sure if you can click the button to pause it or not. Sometimes this menu is not, like, you would just close the menu if you do that. But I really wish you could pause this to just sit there and, like, decide on what you want to do. Because, speaking, it is one of the most obnoxious things as the Black Sun to try and read the descriptions of what all of the, like, actual things do, and then go, oh, look, a week went by and I'm getting attacked. Or, I'm trying to buy the one that like actually benefits me immediately in the future, but I can't because oh look, I'm getting attacked over here and the menu closed. Yeah. Well, I don't know if the devs can fix that or not. It would be really cool if they could, but I'm fairly certain it's actually just like a base game problem that you can't solve. But maybe we'll find out. Maybe one of them will come watch this because I don't know. They were bored. Anyways, financial support grants a one-time credit bonus depending on your current diplomacy level. I guess there are levels. Well, we should listen and find out.
They all give different bonuses that, well, that you can explore. I'm just clicking financial support here. When you do that, Padme Amidala pops up, and you get information text what's happening. And by the way, this is also a new feature we added. Whenever there's a hologram text like that, the game is paused.
So yes, this is one of the ones that like I said though, this is one of the other ones that it was the other problem was the game would just have this thing up in the corner and you couldn't get rid of it. Thankfully, now they let you read the whole thing. It doesn't just make you sit there and wait for it to go away and like have the game like do things in the background or whatnot. Now it's just like, all right, when you're done reading, click the button to continue.
You can read the text and then you can continue when you've read the text. So once...
Yeah, okay. So it works exactly as I thought. So you get to read the text, the game is paused. As soon as you're done reading the text, you hit the book like continue button, and woo, we're immediately past that cutscene. So if you've already seen the message like 85 times, you don't have to sit through 2.5 minutes of dialogue because Padme wanted to inform you that your diplomatic relations have succeeded for the 50th time.
You have completed diplomacy on a CIS planet.
Whoa! Oh, whoa! They paid what we paid for this thing? I know it's the tester version or something, so it's probably not, you know, guaranteed to be the same as the live build will be. But 500 credits, right? For one time reward.
So once you have completed
of 6,000. We just made 5,500 by using Padme one time as diplomacy, and now our diplomacy has gone up, I believe.
It shows up in this mission log.
Interesting. So we've got, it has a timer. It has 27-week diplomacy timer. We are currently diplomacy level 1. And it looks like if you go to high enough, you might be able to take over the planet. Let's see. Send CIS to blah, 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 blah. To gain military. It can also engage in diplomacy in independent worlds. And with the Hutts, independent planets might be persuaded to join us, while the Hutts might grant us access to their territory. Complex and lengthy and require her to be there for the entire duration.
This is listing all the planets, as well as the location, as well as the level of diplomacy you're currently having. Financial support in this case holds for about 27 weeks. Then it ends, the mission will become void, and you can apply a new diplomacy item to the planet. Financial support in this case grants you a small credit bonus. And yeah. As you can already see in this text, we can also send our diplomat to other planets.
I don't know if it changed or not. I tried to turn down my mic manually just on the actual microphone, so maybe I'm a little quieter so that you could turn up the volume if you want to hear them in the background better without me getting hit by YouTube's Disney's copyright strikes.
Among those are the Independents, the Pirates, and the Hutts. Ideally, for Awakening of the Rebellion, we want to have something different happening for every minor faction. For Clone Wars, we will only have the Hutts, and obviously the Independents and the Pirates. So let's check out what we can do here. We can, if we send Padme Amidala to Tradaria, have to wait a couple seconds.
Mission log.
And then the mission log updates. At independent planets, we can do planetary takeovers.
Interesting. So what does it say?
Senator Amidala will have to stay there for a couple of weeks. When those negotiations are finished, the planet flips over.
Huh? What? For
You can
7
view
weeks.
planetary takeovers.
All you have to do is send her
Senator
there and we
Amidala
just
will have
own
to
the
stay there
planet.
for a couple of weeks.
Dang.
When those negotiations are finished, the planet flips over. Now, we can see here that at Stadaria, there's only one Judicator corvette. Kessel is also an independent planet, has a little bit more stuff there, and the units needed, the units on the planet depend, they influence the amount of time it takes for the independent takeover to complete. So if we wait for the mission log to pop up here,
Mission
you can
log
see
updated.
that it takes 15 weeks to take
Yeah,
over
that
Castle,
makes
and
sense. It has a
remember,
battle
it took
cruiser.
7
15 weeks to
take
get a
over
battle
Stadaria.
cruiser is fairly cheap
This
for
also
nothing
means
at all,
that,
besides that
very
one hero.
strongly defended planets in the core, like if we think back to Awakening of the Rebellion, like Brantel 4, it will take a while to get those. While in the Outer Rim, when you're taking over a planet there, you'll be done relatively quickly because it's a backwater world with very little units there. Now the pirate planets are effectively the same thing, but we wanted to give the CIS something different than the Republics. So we didn't want every independent planet to be taken over by both factions, and instead we made it so that the CIS can take over pirate planets, and the Republic can take over independent planets.
Yeah, so I already seen this, but oh yeah, basically means any of the orange planets are CIS like aligned, as in you can take them over as the CIS through diplomacy, and any of the white ones will be Republic aligned, meaning you can take them over as the Republic. If you are the CIS, you cannot take over Toydaria or Kessel in this case because they are white, meaning they are neutral and they do not like us. Whereas Umbara is orange, meaning they are pirate. And, well, I guess the CIS and pirates are more aligned because we probably pay better than the Republic, who are poor and can't afford anything.
This has also some reasons in campaign development. For example, the CIS is starting out in the Outer Rim and has more pirate planets surrounding them. And the Republic is starting in the core mostly and has lots of independent planets surrounding them. So you can use diplomacy to take over planets in your direct neighborhood and grow your territory naturally.
So another
I wonder, do you think we're going to get Hondo in here? That'd be hilarious. We got Hondo. He's a professional at taking over pirate worlds. It only takes like 5,000 a week to do it.
thing to add on to that, just with the independent takeovers through diplomacy. First of all, if you were to look at Trandosia right now, you can see the little handshake emblem that's there. It turns red. This is an indicator that basically says, hey, there is a diplomatic mission active here, and while that is red, you cannot do another one at that planet. So if you want more, you're going to have to push out to other planets and do diplomacy there. When you have a independent planet takeover, it's going to flash between the white of the independent planet and the red of the Republic, or blue is the CIS. It's just going to flash between the colors. This way, it's a visual indicator to know that diplomacy is in progress. When it comes to things such as the independent takeovers themselves, you will actually gain the units and infrastructure that are on the planet. So if we were to wait out the 15 weeks, do the takeover at Kessel, the champion speeder, those infantry, the Corellian battlecruiser, the station, and just everything that's here will be in service of the Republic. That's what makes it worth the wait. So with the randomly generated fleets that happen, throughout random campaigns or...
Yeah, so this where that one sentence right there is where I got my idea for the Black Sun. It's an absolute legendary campaign. I think it'd be absolutely amazing if you got a random campaign as the Black Sun in AOTR on Chungus. So you got like I don't know, you do like make a custom version, you get like a one planet start or something. And you just start with like one planet. But you go out around and you get the local pirate leaders and you're like, hey, you guys got a Corellian battlecruiser. I kinda want that. I think you guys should join up with our crew. And you send one of your guys over, they convince him after like, I don't know, like 10 weeks, 15 weeks. Well, you're securing the other side of the territory. So you don't expand through the battle cruiser because you're like, that's going to be costly. I'll lose a lot of units. So instead, you just spend, I don't know, 10, 15 converting that planet, and boom, all of a sudden, now you have another battle cruiser just ready to deploy. So you can send that off in there. Better yet, as the Black Sun, because you would have so many stealth heroes, you could send off your stealth heroes to like the middle of the galaxy or somewhere way off in the distance, nowhere near. And you're like, okay, I don't actually have a whole lot of units. Kind of poor because it's a campaign. So what if you took over some trash planet over there, built up enough stuff, and you got like one of the diplomatic heroes there, send them nearby Stronghold World, take that over, and after 10 weeks, you of the galaxy now have a battle cruiser stole. I think that would be such a cool playthrough to do. So yeah, that may be in the foreseeable. I think. Yeah, failure to complete a single Black Sun series is unfortunately a common occurrence. Just because I find the Black Sun gets too. Unfortunately, what we're currently dealing with the current one, which is that I make 40,000 a week, so I kind of just don't really have anything interesting to do. I can afford anything I really want. It basically feels like I'm playing in creative mode.
Or just any GC, being able to take over those units can actually bolster up your capabilities or give you capabilities that you didn't necessarily have before. And that can slow down progress depending on where things are at. So right now, it's a percentage chance that you receive the units or infrastructure. That might change, that might not. We're still kind of deciding the finer details that are in that regard.
Personally, I find the idea that it's a percentage chance a little ridiculous because the time on these missions is actually obviously a very big time sink. So for example, as you saw in Trandosha, it gave us immediately 6,000 for just going over there with Padme and spending like, literally, she just recharges immediately afterward. And then you could go siege down Trandosha right afterward, and I don't think it matters because you already got paid, and that was a one-time payment, so it doesn't actually do anything for the rest of the time. Whereas if you were to like do the diplomat mission on Kessel, it's 15 weeks, and after 15 weeks, if you got a literal single unit of ground infantry and the battlecruiser and all that stuff was not given to you, you'll be a little pissed off. I'm just gonna say, I don't think you'll keep playing anymore. If you waited 15 weeks instead of sieging the planet down, just because you were gonna be like, oh, I hope I'm gonna get the battlecruiser, you're either save scumming the game or giving up, because I'm sorry, if you don't get that thing, you're gonna be pissed.
But this handshake indicator, you've got, one when you're negotiating with the CIS planets. You've got another for doing the independent takeovers, and then I'll kick it back to Koryak to talk about the third one.
Exactly. The third diplomacy option is, and I know many of you have watched the Clone Wars TV show, is negotiations with the Hutts.
So, I gotta turn down the audio again. I can briefly hear it in the background. Oh no, stay away! YouTube copyright system. Anyways, so I'm pretty sure the Hutts just work as a trade route system, as in like you can basically get the trade routes like they do in the Clone Wars movie, where they negotiate with Jabba the Hutt to Republic get the trade routes through their sector, or use their hyperspace routes basically as trade routes or whatnot, or move their fleet through it or whatnot. But yeah, I'm fairly certain all it really does in AOT are, AOTCW. Oh, it's AO. Oh, no, I was right. AOTCOW. Looking at Clone Wars. I'm fairly certain all it really will do for you is allow you to pass through the Hutt's territory, which sounds good from the initial thought process. If you're able to pass through all of the Hutt territories and like attack or move your fleet from the top of the galaxy, through their entire territory, like to the bottom. That's obviously going to be very helpful if you're like, okay, I need to send some reinforcements down to the south, or I need to send reinforcements up north. That obviously play a major role in certain situations, as CIS more so probably than the Republic, who is, maybe the Republic wants to send stuff over to Mon Cal or something. Anyways, the idea though is that it's going to be helpful for time, but it has a timer. Obviously, it's not permanent. And the problem I see happening is if you have a lot of freighters, what may end up happening is if you accidentally do that trade thing early on, or rather, I guess you do it intentionally early on, and you do the trade route, and now you have this one extra planet that goes between your planet. So let's like use this little like icon here. Let's just assume that Nimban, you put the trade route there, you took over Yelise after getting this trade route thing like over Nimban. So now the Hutts own Nimban still, but you own Yelise and Kashyyyk, and you have a freighter on Kashyyyk. And the timer on your like trade deal with the Hutts is like you got like half a week left. And the freighter starts going towards Nimban. When this ticks over, meaning when the actual basically deal with the Hutts falls through, or rather, I guess they just are like, sorry, our deal expired and we didn't renew it because that's not part of the feature. They're going to be, hey, why is your freighter in our territory? We're going to shoot that thing down. You could end up pissing the Hutts off earlier than they actually would activate, which means, especially if you're on a lower difficulty, brand new player, you may accidentally use the mechanic and get yourself in a little bit of trouble with the Hutts, as they will activate and begin attacking you because your freighter happened to be going to your other planet and the trade route no longer works.
And if you remember back to what happened in the TV show, the Republic tried to gain passage through Hutt space, and now let's see what we're doing here.
Mission log updated.
Hutt cartel negotiations. I have engaged in negotiation with Hutt cartel over the free passage through their territory. This will take a while, make sure that we are not interrupted. So usually this is supposed to take 10 weeks. For the purpose of this video, I changed that to 2 weeks, so we can just wait out what happens.
And as you can see, indicator is going to be flashing back and forth, just showing you that, hey, we do have diplomacy, that's in progress here. But essentially what you are doing is you are creating a non-aggression pact.
Mission
with
log
the
updated.
Hutts.
Exactly. So the negotiations are over now. We have negotiated.
So I'm not sure if this is only that planet or if it's all of their territory.
Hutts, they will stay neutral in the war and they're granting us free passage through their space. So what we can do now is we cannot send anything to the Hutts themselves. Tottenham will just tell us that we have an aggression with that, so attacking them is probably not the greatest idea. But we can send units over their planets now.
Tactical battle
and
imminent.
attack the CIS. Maybe that fleet was a bit small, but that's not the point here. The point is that the Hutt planet is basically locked, and they are under the hood turned into your ally. That also means that on planets where, for example, the Hutts have local forces, even though it's not a Hutt planet, you can still, or they're still being, or they will be on your side.
Now, the other thing here is that just like in the TV show, the Hutts, they are slimy. These non-aggression pacts don't last forever, but you won't know how long. So treat that with caution as you.
Oh my gosh, I don't think I'll basically ever be using this mechanic. This sounds horrible. Or rather, I guess I'll use the diplomacy, don't get me wrong. I mean the mechanic with the Hutts. So, as Prez just said, we have a timer, but it doesn't even tell us. Because the Hutts are rancid pieces of trash. So they'll just randomly be like, they didn't pay us enough money. Pick them out. So then our ship rolls up and it's like, hey, we're here to pass by your territory, no problems, right? And the Hutts are like, yeah, no problems. Gunners, open fire. And then they start attacking your nearby planets, and you're like, what the heck did I do? I was allies with you. I paid you or something. Yeah, so I wonder if, I don't know if they could out of that renew the contract with them after you set it up by sending a hero and paying them. You gotta bribe the Hutts to, and it will be like, all right, it guarantees like 2 more weeks or something for like 2,000 credits. That'd be an interesting add that. There's already a lot of scripting. Wrong. I don't know if the game can handle anymore. It's probably already getting pretty hard onto it.
You might be passing through one of their planets and get a little surprise.
And we have the awkward silences trying to figure out what
so
the.
that's basically it.
Hey, there we go. Oh yeah, look at that, guys. We got our first look at the Republic tech, and hey, guys, what do you see there? That is Captain Shack. Yes, so Captain Shack has made it into the game. I'm going to assume he's in the Liberation, but maybe he's not. 15,000, so I would have to assume it's the Liberation. But it could not. It could be something else. I just don't know if anything else is worth 18,000. Also, look at them tech. But Republic tech is going to work the exact same. It looks like it's the Imperial tech. CIS is Black Sun.
When it comes, or when this feature will come to Erkin of the Baron, we'll probably expand it with the other minor factions. But so far, I think this is well, this will add a new complexity to the Galactic Conquest experience.
Was it in this video? Might have been in this video, but in case it was in the other one, I think it might have been. I don't remember when we did the hero one. Anyways, basically the hero trait is like diplomat that works with this one. And the actual diplomat that's like senator like class for each faction is Padme, and I believe Count Dooku is the CIS one. I know he does that. Yeah, he should be a stealth hero for that. Not entirely sure. Anyway, well, I guess we'll find. Damn.
Yeah, combining that with something else that we got cooking. The GC level is going to feel a lot more interesting and involved than it ever was, and you get to make a lot more strategic plays. Koryak, before we end this, if you mind zooming in on Padme's description for me. So, your diplomats, they are going to say class diplomat right underneath their name, and that is what's going to tell you whether they can do diplomacy.
And we got the ground text. So yeah, anyway, as said, we will have diplomat Count Duke Pat are buildable. Well, saw those. Might have been the maybe it was the anyways. Matter. Look at all the clone tech on this. Look at all the clone tech. You guys see all the clone tech down there? So if I had to guess, what are these Legion based? Is that even tech? It has to be tech, right? Anyways, that is a lot. I'm guessing maybe as clone commanders, like ARC troopers or special forces or something mixed in there. Anyways, we'll have to wait until they show that off. Obviously, the 3 at the end are going to be vehicle tech. And yeah, that'll be interesting. Maybe they'll give us a preview for this. Maybe you'll just have to wait until the game comes out. Well, mod comes out. I really should basically call it a game, because at this point, it's pretty much its own like thing. Compared to Base Empire War, it's so far above and beyond. You can't even compare the two. It's why they don't want to make a sequel. The devs of the mod teams are too good at what they do. And Disney's like, nah, why make a sequel when the mod team does it for us?
Or not. The 2 diplomats, I think it was said already, but just saying it again, are going to be Padme for the Republic and Count Dooku for the CIS. Yeah. Now, one other thing is...
We got Count Dooku! let's see. So he is a Force user. He is going to be classed as a Sith. He should be stealth because a diplomat has to be. Diplomats have diplomatic immunity, I believe. Means he. Oh yeah, there it is. Actually, I'm just so. Don't mind me. And I told you guys I'm tired in the last video. I'm recording this after that other one, so you know, it didn't get any better. It's really late. Anyways, look at that stealth Count Dooku and Ventress. Oh yeah, maybe we'll get some CIS raids. Oh, if we can get stealth BX commando droids as a unit, we could do some cool stuff. Does he have any? Does he have any guards? He does not. I mean, it makes sense. He's already a Sith Lord. I don't know if they need to make him any more powerful. So he's gonna have, what is this? He has decisive attacks, increases damage using decisive strikes for a short period of time. Well, that will be very good against other Force users. And mod where there's gonna be a ton of Jedi. That is not a bad ability. And Force Lightning, obviously, is gonna be very good at slaughtering infantry. Every Jedi has their Force attacking air units, vehicles, and
Is that when you're doing like hut negotiations, if you pull him away or pull her away, depending on what faction, from whatever they're doing, it interrupts and therefore has to restart. There's going to be a dialogue that lets you know that, hey, it got interrupted, it's no longer going. But, you know, if you go 10 weeks into Kessel's independent takeover and you move your diplomat, that's going to have to restart. Or if you're doing Hut Clan negotiations and you move them away, that's going to have to restart. So the only thing that isn't like that is going to be if you do the diplomacy with the hostile faction directly. But as you can see, anything with that red handshake is just indicating to you that it is already done. The red handshake, by the way, for the huts, it does not apply to just one hut planet. It applies to the entire minor faction as a whole. So no.
there. So we got our answer to that question. If you take hut negotiation, you can take over the whole hut, like basically territory, hyperspace, until the huts decide that they're sick and tired of you being territory, and they decide to wage war against you to their territory. So it's a double-edged sword. You only have to do one negotiation to immediately be able to move your south. But at the same time, you literally could be really unlucky, and as soon as you move your fleet into there, the Hutt said, "Go away. I hate you. We didn't agree to this nonsense. I don't agree to you sending your entire fleet through my territory. Die, fool." So yeah, that'll be interesting. I am really looking forward to this mod. See if they got anything else to say before.
No matter how
finish
much
this up.
territory the huts possess, you will be able to pass through all of it. You just cannot attack it or park your units over it.
Exactly.
So that's good to know. Basically, you cannot leave unit orbit of hut space, which is also beneficial to you, so you don't accidentally provoke a war. Makes sense. Can't leave your orbit of a neutral world. That is what the Trade Federation basically did to Naboo, and it did not work out for them. Yeah, so same time, what else do we have before that? Yeah, I don't know if you guys can hear this, so I'll make sure I repeat it just in case. But you're doing one of the negotiation missions and you give up part way, it will cancel it. So if you're 10 weeks into Castle's 15 weeks and you pull off like Count Dooku or Padme from it's back to 0. So be careful. You already assigned them to a mission and you're not sure if they are on the mission, you should be able to check the mission log like we already saw. It will show that it's in progress. And I don't know if it'll show you how many weeks are left, but it should at least show you how many weeks there was total. And it might even show you when it started, so you can just estimate or calculate it out yourself.
Yeah, and for all of you who did not get everything on the first look of this video, we have also
Mission
created
log updated.
a guide.
There we go. That's the other thing that's going to help. Look at that. All of the guides. So, Confederacy, yeah, it's going to be Count Dooku, faction leader. Oh, no. So, be careful with him, then, I guess. So yeah, to negotiate, see, it says what they're with a pirate or independent, depending on your faction. And the guides obviously going to be in game. So let's see, is there any spoilers in the guides that we can see? Shields, weapon rules. Nope, doesn't look like it. Unfortunate. Fortunately, we cannot see special. It's there. Yeah, that is pretty cool. Going to be very helpful for all of us when we first get in there and go, "What the heck are we doing in here?" But that's all they have. Let's see. One last check
Guide
before.
for diplomacy, listing the heroes, diplomacy options. So this
Oh, diplomacy
and
levels.
different ways of
Both can negotiate. Both major factions can negotiate with the other major faction that they are bordering. Additionally, the mission log will blah 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 blah. You can conquer border planets to gain access to new available planets. Have a yellow handshake icon next to them. Good to know. The icon will transfer the faction color of the faction during the negotiations. I don't know if the AI will know how to do this. If it does, I'm be concerned that they're just going to steal my most powerful world, and I won't be able to stop them. But I guess we'll find out if that's possible.
doing diplomacy.
Oh, here we go. We got actually what they do on minor faction army support. You'll see a free unit on local militia unit nearby planet. Every few weeks, you get another unit until the maximum number. Played in diplomacy overview mission log entry next to the planet and the mission type reaches 0. After that, the planet will become available for a new diplomacy mission. Fleet support, you get a free unit, I guess. Cool. Spies, spy network, riot. Probably gonna blow up one single planet or something. Yep, planet destroys a random unit, or I'm guessing a building, probably. Fairly simple. Financial support, obviously you get a random bonus of credits that probably in a certain range. Uprising a planet. Uprising is a short amount of time after selecting this. It will switch to neutral. All buildings will be destroyed and all units will retreat. You can take over the planet. Oh, that's pretty good.
Options.
Diplomacy levels display the mission log working through the entire list of something. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, items will become more expensive, but will also be more powerful. Longer duration on spies, more reward units for army and fleet support, and higher limit of destroyed units for riot. On the highest diplomacy level, you can get access to the powerful uprising item. Interesting. I'm going to assume uprising just basically it says there. It just makes you instantly take over the whole planet by turning it neutral and kicking everybody else out. Basically, the planet rebels, and it's going to end up like it did in Fall Republic, whereas the planet just becomes neutral after it didn't like you anymore. Or rather, you convinced the locals that they hated the other guys more. It's definitely going to be cool. I think financial support would be interesting to see how high you can get that. If we're to leave a very valuable planet. I don't know if it'll change based off of the planet's value or not. I might wait and find out with that.
And yeah. So this should get you through the entire diplomacy thing. Or, you could...
Okay, so I think that's all they got for us, guys. Thank you so much, Koryak and Mr. President, for explaining all these. Especially Mr. President for 3 different tutorial guides or previews, I guess, for all the new special things they got going. I don't know if I will make a video on the new individually or not. They got a whole bunch of previews. If I find the time, maybe I'll do that. But yeah, you guys do want to see that. If you did enjoy this one, leave a like on the video. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. And I will see you all again, hopefully very, very soon with some new stuff. I might make a series. I've been playing a bit of new game. Exile 2. That one is. Path of Exiles 2, that's it. Anyways, I might make a series on Path of Exiles or stream a bit. I've been playing a fair bit of that when I have some time. I've been working a lot, so haven't had the most. I have other stuff too. But yeah, hopefully we'll have a bit more stuff going on in the near future, especially with this hopefully being on the horizon. I'm not sure how far they are towards a release. They have been doing quite well, and it looks like a lot of stuff is very well polished already. So we can hope for the best, and maybe we'll see it in the next month or so. But yeah, with that, I will see you all again next time.